How are they going to do the jousting?
How are you going to do the jousting? There you go.
Well, hello there, folks, and hear ye, hear ye. WhatsOnStage has travelled up north to the Manchester Opera House, where I actually used to work at the box office back in the day. And we're here for the official opening night of A Knight's Tale, the musical. Be sure to subscribe to WhatsOnStage and ring that bell for notifications for all that theatrical goodness. And now, anybody up for a spot of jousting?
Oh my goodness, I have been such a fan of this film for like 24 years, but almost 25 years. I saw it in 2001 and I just watched it over and over again with my siblings. So I couldn't believe it when the production company approached me and said, you know, we're thinking about making this into a musical. Is that something you might be interested in? And I was like, 1,000 times yes.
Yeah, we have an absolutely great time. Like, I mean, it's impossible to have a bad time in this show, I think. I mean, like, the songs are banger after banger after banger, and the script is so funny. Brona has done an incredible job with that, and like, it's just gags, and just the story has so much heart. Like, I think it's impossible not to have a good time.
Yeah, and it's a great company as well. The cast are fantastic, but we're all getting on so well.
Yeah.
And I think I think it shows when you watch a show. It's quite infectious.
You know, the idea for it was that we would somehow put it on stage. I'm not sure any of us knew, this was quite a few years ago, what it would be. But then it became apparent that this was such a feel-good show with like a big heart, a big comedy ensemble, you know, a really like exciting kind of queer element, an exciting feminist element if we wanted it. It was really ahead of its time back then. And so I think a jukebox musical felt right because it was like, we can do something really feel good and joyous, and we can give the people a little bit of what they want, which is a really good night out.
I think
funny.
properly funny.
The show's main selling point is it's very funny.
Very funny.
And it's a great story.
Yeah.
Like it's quite a like archetypal like hero's journey, but with a lot of gags.
And sort of modernised in that sense of like, we're really preaching to a choir of like, you can be anything you want to be, especially in an age where lots of people are telling us we have to conform to a certain way to be. It's nice to do a show where it's like, hey, whatever you want to do, you can absolutely change your styles and go and do it.
I think that we tried to be as true to the spirit of the film as we could, and then we also really followed the story, but the kind of detail that we put in terms of, you know, there's a new queer relationship, there's a lot more character jokes. We really leaned into the characters that Brian presented in his film, but we really dialed them up. We basically tried to dial everything up to like a musical theatre level.
It is indeed a jukebox musical, and there's a lot of bangers in here, a lot of pop bangers that people are going to know and love. There's something for the mums, something for the dads, the aunties, the uncles, everything in between. There is something for you in this show, I think.
When I flicked through the script originally and just kept seeing banger after banger after banger, I was like, wait, we get to sing these. And it was one of those rehearsal processes, I don't know about this for you, but like, where Alan Berry, who's a brilliant MD, but had to do so little teaching because everyone was like, oh yeah, I know this one.
Yeah, one of my favourites is one of my songs, Don't Speak, by No Doubt, because it's just a banger anyway, and I love No Doubt, and it's where I get to like really like give it some welly, give it to William, and just like sit on a bed and cry.
My favourite musical number in the show is Rolling in the Deep, because I get to get pushed around on big bleachers. I feel like Magneto out of X-Men. I feel like I'm moving the earth with my mind.
I really enjoy singing Mr. Brightside, which is, I'm doing my best impersonation of Mick Jagger, Rockstar, down the front of the stage, and have this amazing company behind me singing and dancing, and it's a real thrill.
I've got so many favourites. but I think I'm going to go with Kiss from a Rose.
You start seeing Kiss from a Rose, the entire room goes bye bye yeah.
Because it's like one of the only moments that me and the gang get to just sit and be together. Like, the show is so fast paced, and so to be able to actually sit with the gang and to like have those moments it's a really special part of the show.
And he sings it beautifully.
One of my favorites is S Club 7. That was in my bedroom at 14 years old, listening to the album unashamedly. So you understand, this is a big deal.
Look, S Club 7 reached for the stars. It's a childhood dream.
Yeah.
And to get to do it while dressed as a medieval squire, I mean, two worlds you never thought you needed together, but you do.
You're doing A Knight's Tale, the musical, on stage. How are you going to do the jousting? How are you going to do the horses? And so I remember in one of the workshops asking the director, but even then she was like, we're keeping it hush-hush, you know,
Which basically means we haven't worked out yet.
There's like three main ways I think the horses are enacted, and they kind of, you know, start small and then gets to a big reveal at the end.
I think originally there was going to be less still work, but then when we actually got it into the space and we realised how good the horses looked, they used it more than initially was planned. Tonight there was a big cheer for when the horses came on, and I've not seen the way that we do the horses. I've not seen that done before, so it's pretty unique.
Yeah, I agree.
So we always wanted to open this in Manchester. When we realised that we were going to do A Knight's Tale, the musical, I think the entire team was like, Manchester has to see this first, because Manchester is such a generous audience. They were going to tell us where our show was. And I think that's what's been extraordinary about the previews here in Manchester and opening night tonight, was that they told us where they were going to laugh. They told us where we were being a bit pretentious. They told us where they wanted to scream. And so Manchester has given us the most extraordinary opening, and now our hope and our plan would be to take it to the West End where everybody can see it.
You can catch A Knight's Tale here at Manchester Opera House until the 10th of May 2025. As always, feel free to leave your thoughts about the show in the comments section down below. But please, for the love of all your knights in shiny armour, keep it kind, and I'll see you next time for What's on Stage.
Hello, they saw my Mr. Backside as well, is that what you're saying?
Love that, that's so good.
Great segue, really nice.
This is What's on Stage, oh look.
Oh, that's continuity right there.